going to work. We are going to fight. And we are going to win, win, win. Very simple.
Stephen Roberts, ABC News political analyst. Stephen Roberts, welcome back to Big 550 KTRS.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
President Trump has been on the offense. The charm offensive has begun, and it looks like he's gaining a little traction.
I don't think it's a charm offensive at all. I think it's a fear offensive, but it is gaining traction. Talking about, these caravans of hardened criminals heading for the border. This is classic Trump. Exciting fears, exciting apprehensions about foreigners. This is a guy who started his political career on the birther movement, attacking Obama as a non-citizen. This is a guy who, the day he announced for president, talked about Mexicans coming across the border as rapists and criminals. There's nothing new about this, but it worked before. It's working again. Wall Street Journal poll out this morning. It's clear that the intensity level, the interest level of Republicans, pretty lethargic even a few weeks ago, has risen. Kavanaugh fight probably something to do with this. Good economic news, something to do with this, particularly among male voters. But there's no doubt that the fight for the House is much closer today than it was even a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard somebody over the weekend tell me that a prominent Republican said that the best thing Schumer ever did was make that Brett Kavanaugh a fight because that has breathed new life into the right.
I think it has. The risk for Republicans is it also breathes new life into the left. And the biggest vulnerability, there are two vulnerabilities Republicans have. One is the Hispanic vote. That vote has been pretty lethargic on the Democratic side. Democrats have been worried that they have not been able to energize Latinos in key states like Nevada, Texas, Arizona. Does all this talk about the hardened criminals coming across the border, does that give the Democrats an argument to help bring out the Latino vote in some of these states? But even larger issue is the gender gap. You and I have talked about this many times, but in this Wall Street Journal poll, men favored Republicans by 14 points in House races. Women favored Democrats by 25 points. That's a gap of 39 points. I've covered politics for over 50 years, and I've never seen anything like this. So this is not just an election of red versus blue, liberal versus conservative, men versus women. And one of the reasons for this is that women are upset with Trump personally. And the Kavanaugh case, which can help Trump with men, can hurt him with women. And what we don't know is how this is going to play out in the end. But for every action in politics, there's a reaction, there's a backlash. And that's one of the risks that Trump is running right now.
But you know what? You watch these polls better than everybody, and you're probably the best person to ask this question. It really is shocking that this is the same country that elected President Obama twice with over 50% of the vote twice. And yet they struggle now in this era where Donald Trump, President Trump and President Obama couldn't be more different. Where did the Obama coalition go?
Well, it's a very good question. And so much of this does come out down to personality. Barack Obama was a young, fresh face. He captured one of the most critical elements in American political DNA, the search for something new, the search for something different, the search for something, the next great idea. Throughout our entire history, over 200 years as a country, we have always looked for the new thing. If you look at the successful Democratic candidates over the last half century, they've been like John F. Kennedy, a new generation of Democrats. Kennedy, Carter, Clinton, Obama, they all had something very much in common, which Hillary Clinton did not have, which John Kerry did not have, which Michael Dukakis didn't have, which Walter Mondale didn't have. There's a very clear pattern here. And the oddity was that Donald Trump, the oldest president we've ever had, did capture that sense of something new, something different. And so you have to understand that dynamic. Obama was that clarion notion of something, of the next generation, a new idea. Hillary Clinton was exactly the opposite. The real question for the Democrats going into 2020, is there a version of Jack Kennedy? Is there a version of Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or even Jimmy Carter out there who can recapture that sense of newness, that freshness, that optimism, that youth and energy, which all successful Democratic candidates have always had.
We'll leave it there. Stephen Roberts, ABC News political analyst. Have yourself a good day.